I just broke in Jamie's house because I need something from him and he's not home, so. Any lights on in this place? Love what he's done with the place. It's super clean. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, it's a big one. Is that bigger than mine? Remember the one I had with Jones is not working properly. So James said I could borrow this one. What are you doing home?
Yo, hey, what are you doing at my house? That's the question.
Next, it's a trip to Lowe's. I didn't go super early because it was raining, but now it looks gorgeous. So now I'm going to go to Lowe's. And I have my list. This is my awesome list from Lowe's. And I need a lot of trim, a lot of baseboard. I have 56 feet of baseboard. See, I had gone a while back. I kind of go every time I go, I just grab a little bit. So I have some baseboard. I have some window trim and door trim. I got some more stuff to get. I got to get a couple stair treads. And I got a lot of junk. And so I guess it's time just to go to Lowe's and get all my crap, come back here and start prepping some material. And then once it's all prepped, I can start getting it inside. So Lowe's, here we come. Choices. I don't even know where to start, dude. In here, I'm just going to do white up against the built-ins, and I just need to figure out what I'm going to do here and what color it's going to be around that. So that's something I have to figure out. Hi, Haley. All right, so this is what I'm thinking. You know, this would be the cabinet like that, and then it's got a shoe molding that just sits like that. And this is 1 1/16 inches, I think, or 3/4. So that's going to be, I believe, big enough to cover all my gaps that I had because a couple of them were a little bit bigger. So I think that's going to be good. This is MDF, but I don't really care. And this is painted already white. So that's perfect. So I'll just shoot it up with some little brads. Okay, so that's the white one. And then I need to do the wood ones for in the closet. And then probably just wood for around the island. But maybe put some stain on it to make it look a little bit better than what it is now, or maybe a little bit darker. So let's check it out. I'm not really finding any of the quarter round that I want over there that I think it's going to look good, and I don't think I can stain it. But I did come over here and notice that there are tons of pre-colored quarter round that I think I might be able to get something that looks decent to what I need. But the problem with that is that I did not bring a piece of the flooring with me. So I'm going to get the baseboard and everything that like that today, stuff I can paint, stuff I know I need done today, and then I'll have to come back with a piece of the flooring and maybe even with Stephanie to match that to make sure that it looks good. This other material, I'm going to give it a quick sand and then I'm going to get staining. But unlike Jamie's, I don't have anywhere to stack it yet. I'm going to make some stickers. Jamie Jr. Call me Jamie Jr. Now remember, I put some stuff back here. Here we go. I think these will work good. These like thicker ones. Yeah, those will work good. I'll make them out of that. Let's grab those. For those of you that don't really know what I'm talking about as far as these stickers go, is that Jamie has these sticker pieces of wood in there that allow him to stack wood up vertically as opposed to horizontally so that you don't have to take as much room up. So I'm going to show you what he does. I don't know exactly the dimensions of his, but I'm going to make mine 4 feet long. I'm just going to make 4 foot. I don't have the thing on, but then I'll take these couple pieces of wood that I have and I'm just going to put them on the ends. Like this. And I just got an 18 gauge with some, I don't know, I think 2-inch nails. Just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. It's not structural by any means, so it doesn't really matter. I'll put this one on this end. And voila, that's a sticker. And then what you do is when you build another one, okay, now we'll point this down towards the floor. And what this allows me to do is that I will put 2 of these down, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll put wood on it, just hypothetically speaking, like this, all the way across. And then once you fill that row up, all you simply do is take another piece and you put it like this, and then you start another row there, and that allows you to do 2 stacks of 2, 3, 4, however many stickers you have, you can stack up. At Jamie's, we've done 10 high. So you're able to, you know, process a lot of material, paint it, whatever you want to do, and then stack it up without having to have it all spread out in one spot. As you can see, that is awesome. There's no way I would have gotten that much material in this garage if it was spread out everywhere. So I got all that done and drying and ready to rock and roll. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed in the past, I do not put any poly on them. And I know people are going to kill me for this for 2 reasons. One is I'm lazy and I don't want to do any more steps. And 2 is Stephanie and I really don't like the glossy look. I mean, I guess if you only put 1 on it, it would probably be all right. But you can see this one, it's got like a sheen to it. And we don't like that. I like the more rustic look. And I know that it's not going to last as long and it might discolor and stuff like that. But kind of the farmhouse, country farmhouse type thing that we're going for inside, I think that looks the best. If it gets bad and I got to replace it, so be it. But that's why I don't put any poly on them. I just put the stain on them and that's it. The trim around these vanities, I was thinking I wanted it to be the same color as the vanity. That way it wouldn't kind of stick out at all. So I'm out here in the shed and out in the garage. And I have a bunch of paint, but I don't know if I have the right paint. So, uh-oh, cabinet, that might be something. That looks like it's some kind of color. Cabinet and furniture. I don't know what, though. It doesn't say on it what it is. Oh, wait. Martha's Vanity. There we go. Okay, there's one. Here. That might be something. It's kind of bluish looking. I think that is a match. Paint that I had earlier that I thought was this color was not this color. It was a total blue. I think it was when I made the American flag outside. I think it was that blue. So I don't know what color this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this door off. And the reason why is I'm going to take the whole entire door to Lowe's and I'm going to have them match it. All right, so Steph and I came to Lowe's and I didn't film any of it. I totally forgot. We have dinner in the car and so I'm like, we need to hurry up, we need to hurry, we need to hurry. So 2 things what I did is I did this. Remember I took this door off? So we took that door off and I matched paint. So that will be for the trim. And I was thinking, if there's any left over stuff, maybe you could, you know, maybe touch it up and paint it again. Anyways, and then I brought a piece of our flooring and then we looked for a molding to match. And we think this is the closest thing. And I think once it's on the ground with all the different shades up against the cabinets, I think it'll be pretty good. And this is already pre-finished. It's already good. I don't have to do anything to it. And I think it's winter chicken dinner. So let's get home before our kids kill us. We need to eat. Oh, and I got a piece of PVC. I got this little piece of PVC quarter round or shoe mold. I'm going to put this at the tub because it's going to get wet. I didn't want a piece of wood or MDF because it would get ruined. So, and I can't shoot it because it's all just tile and the floor. So I'll have to just Lexel it in there. But I think that'll be good up against the tub to cover my cuts there. So I think we're doing good. Now we just have to install it all. Thank God Nana's not home because I'm making a complete mess. Yes, I have lost my voice. We had our last volleyball tournament of the season, and I screamed really loud, and I lost my voice again. There's actually quite a bit that goes into getting these windows prepped for the new trim, and it's not good because it makes a complete mess. So after I take it off, I gotta pound all the nails in, take all the nails out, and then there's always some leftover from where they caulk the joint right here. I'm having to take my chisel there and chisel as much of it off as I can, and then I'm going back and taking the hand palm sander there and hitting it and trying to smooth it up real good there. And then what I'll do is I'll just take some white paint and just roll the face right there just to cover up all the spots that I made a mess and, you know, that I knocked off. And then once that's all prepped, then we can put the window trim back on. So I got one done. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 more windows and 2 of these big doors to still get at. So I'm trying to get everything prepped, ready to rock and roll, and then I'll go back one day and just bust out all the trim, all the baseboard, all the trim around here that I got, everything all in one day. Well, I'd say it's probably enough time lapse of that. It's probably gonna get really boring watching me just pull trim off all day long. But I forgot to mention the one good thing about it is this. That. So with that being said, we should have a pretty good fire after this video. So stick around for that at least. See a nice little blaze go up after the video. Bro, I think I got you.
Not at all.
Yeah, man.
No, I don't think so.
I got you, bro. So I bet you didn't know, male pattern baldness affects 2 out of every 3 guys by the time they're 35. But I got good news for you guys. Hair loss stops with Keeps. With Keeps, you can get professional care for your hair loss from the comfort of your own home. I mean, nobody wants to go to the pharmacy and be like, yo, can you hook me up? I'm freaking balding over here.
What are you guys doing?
He says his hair is thicker than mine. I said, no way.
Dude, check it out, bro. Been using that Keeps for like 6 months.
I don't know.
3 years for me.
Yes, Eric's hair might be a little thicker than mine. He's been using it for 3 years. I've been only using it for about 6 months. And that's about the time where most men will start to see results. So these treatment plans are personalized. They don't send the same stuff for every guy. You got to fill out a consultation, tell them what your unique needs are, and then they send a treatment plan based on those needs. Let's talk about personal. As part of your Keeps treatment plan, you can actually message your service provider or the Keeps care team 24/7. So thanks to Keeps for sponsoring today's video and for the free product. Hair loss stops with Keeps. For a special offer to get started, go to keeps.com/Jaysway or click the link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/Jaysway to get started. You think he's got me?
I don't. There's a lot of shiny brown forehead there.
What's all the noise?
Taking all this trim off. It's gonna look fantastic. And actually, you're the perfect person I needed to talk to. I have good news and I have bad news.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
Give me the bad news.
No, I'll give you the good news first.
Okay.
All right, so the good news is, you know that trim I have in the garage, the that light colored trim
Yes.
that I took from one of Jamie's jobs?
Yeah?
I think I'm gonna use that here.
Okay.
What do you think? Does that look all right?
I think so.
Okay. I think that'll look good, and then it'll save us a little bit of money too.
Okay.
So that's the good news. Bad news is this, is I'm going to take this trim off of this window and replace it with the good trim and that door and that door. But I don't know how to make curved wood. I knew I shouldn't have called Eric. All right, you're lucky.
Yeah?
I can do it. And it's going to suck bad.
I'm sorry.
Just so you know. And it's probably going to look like butt, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it just for you.
It's not going to look like butt.
It might.
I have faith in you.
So I did talk to Eric, and yes, I can make that out of wood. But it's not going to be fun, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. Eric said, #1 rule, most important, don't break it. It has to be intact. So I took my knife, I scored real good down in here, I scored real good on the outside. So I'm going to try to get this thing off without breaking it. I did it. I did not break it. Okay, I'm going to put this right out in the garage so nobody burns it or throws it away. But I need this to make my new piece. I'm getting after this trim, and I'm going to actually start in Bob and Martha's bathroom. just because they're out of town right now, so I figure I can bust all this out. So I'm going to do all the different trims in this room, even the tub. And I'm going to work my way out their bedroom and out into the living room. That way I can get it done before they get home. So I'm obviously not going to show you every window I'm going to do, but obviously when I'm doing these windows, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sides first, and then I'm going to do the top and the bottom. So with our 1/4 inch reveal, all I need to do is take our number on the side there. So I'm 65 1/8. So I'm just going to add 1/4 to that. And I can write that down right here, 65 1/8, because my trim's going to cover that. And then on this side, I'm looking at, now remember that's plus 1/2. And then over here, I'm going to be, because it may not be the same, I didn't build this house, so 65 1/8 on both sides. So 65 1/8, I'm going to add 1/2 to that, put the sides up. And then once I get the sides up, I could take numbers this way, but I like to just put the sides up and then pull a number across the top, pull a number across the bottom, and shoot that in. It's such an awesome transformation. I just love the way that the dark trim looks. Again, this is that material I got from a leftover job that I'm going to use to do that tub wall thing. So what I need to figure out is how many boards this is going to take. So I'm at like 17 inches. So what I need to do is I need to go figure out how many boards that is. Again, same thing with the floor. I don't want to get to a little tiny ripper up here. I want it to be a bigger piece. So if I have to rip the first one to make it look all right, I think I might want to do that. Now, I gotta put this piece in. I'm gonna have to Lexel that down because I can't shoot it. This is tile underneath, that's the tub. So I have to just Lexel down. So what I'll do is I'll put some Lexel. Okay, got my Lexel, and what I'm going to do is not only am I gonna use the Lexel to hold this piece down, is I'm actually gonna fill this crack in as well, because water's gonna get in there. So if I seal that crack up, I don't know if it's a good or bad idea, then water won't get down and underneath the flooring. That way, at least keep it on the surface. This stuff is waterproof, but I don't want water just to sit underneath it. So I'm just gonna put a nice little bead. Now we're gonna set this piece in there, like so. You know, I think that's good. So we'll let that set up, and hopefully when I come back and move it, it's still good. Next, I'm gonna do around this bandy. Remember, I painted some trim to match the bandy in this one and in the other bath. So I'm putting in this trim around the bandy, and a little pro tip is I always cut them maybe just a tiniest bit long in the beginning, just because sometimes you might even have to change the angle a little bit. Sometimes, even though I'm cutting 45, sometimes these might not even be at 45, so sometimes you'll have to adjust them. But this one, and I'm mitering this piece. Now you can see on the baseboard there, I'm not mitering those pieces. And what I do is I make sure that I try to think of it visually, like looking at it. I don't want to see the lines there. So like if I'm doing this piece, I'll make this piece long and that piece short. That way I don't see the cut here. So anywhere you can, you just try to make it where it visually looks the best. And I didn't miter those, but these I did miter. But this one I got, I think, pretty good, man. That looks pretty nice. Pro tip time. This is actually a Ray Jones pro tip. So some of these boards obviously are not flat. They're not straight. So they're gonna maybe fly up a little bit. And this one actually flies up here at the end. So to try to find the stud, push it down and shoot it all at the same time, it's near impossible. So what we do, or what he does, is that he gets just a little scrap piece of wood here. And what I'll do is I'll actually stand on this, give it a little push down, and then I'll find my stud. there, and then I'll shoot it. Voila! I'm into Bob Martha's bedroom here, and I'm gonna do the baseboard behind the bed. And again, remember, I didn't get 16-foot long boards because I don't have a rack, and it'd be impossible to get 16-footers unless I borrowed Jamie's truck or something. So I just got 8s. So I have to break the boards behind the bed somewhere, and that's where I'm gonna do it. I wanna do it behind the bed. I don't wanna have a joint out here where you're gonna see it. That's stupid. So I'll put it behind the bed. And also what I wanna do is I marked my studs, is I wanna make sure that I break my board on a stud. That way, the boards like this, if this is the baseboard, I have somewhere to nail on both sides. If I had it out here in the field somewhere and I went to nail it, if the joint's not tight or if it's loose right there, it's gonna look like you know what. Another thing that I'm doing is, as you can see, they didn't do a great job insulating some of these windows. You can see there's lots of gaps in there, especially like down here. Look at that, there's tons of gaps, and that's just air leakage. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take some Big Stretch and I'm just gonna fill it up in there. There, and then just put the trim right over the top and booyah, done. Making my way around Nan and Pop Pop's bedroom here, and I got this. This is that trim that Steph and I found at Lowe's, and I think it looks pretty good. I think the only problem I'm gonna run into here is that I think it's too big. Might be a touchy long right here, but the problem is that when the door opens now, yeah, it's too high. So it needs to be lower. All I did was put it up against the fence on the table saw and I just ripped that bottom half off. I think that's all I needed to do, and then this thing should just split right in there like so. And then when the door shuts, oh my God, that's dirty. When the door shuts, that little flap will come right over the top of it. I think that's it, man. I'm gonna shoot it. Shoot it! Nice. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I'm freaking killing this trim. So I'm making my way into the kitchen here. I've been in the kitchen and I'm doing this trim that Stephanie and I got from Lowe's around the island here. And one thing I don't want to do is I'm not shooting any of it yet until all of it's together, because if I shoot this one on and then over there it doesn't match up, then I'm, you know, foobarred. So that corner looks fantastic. So I'm gonna hold that there and I'm gonna make my way down this way as I'm holding the piece in. And now, I'm sure you can't see this, but that one looks great there too. So I'm gonna hold this one and I'm gonna work my way around this way, holding it in place. And then I got this one cut. I'm gonna put this one in. That looks really good. And I'm gonna hold this one here. And now if this one matches up down here and I don't need to cut anything, then I can just go back and start in the beginning and start wailing away. I'm in the bathroom and I'm working on this piece behind the toilet, and the right side there you can see from when I put that flooring on the wall, it's a certain rip there. So I ripped that baseboard down to 5 3/16. But then the one on the back wall here where the toilet is at, it needs to be a full length on the left. So I need to rip it down from full length down to 5 1/4. And I figured the easiest thing to do is I'm just going to use my planer. I could use snap a line and cut it, but I don't think it's going to take much. I only need about 1/4 inch. And look at this cool thing. I put it in my table saw. I cranked the blade up on my table saw, and then I put the fence up against it, and it's actually holding it pretty well. So I'm going to try just to take the planer and just and see what happens. See if I can just kind of feather it out so that it's full on that end where it meets the other baseboard, but smaller on this end so it'll go under that piece of trim. So I'm making this piece, your curved piece here, Ellis. You see what I got going on here? So this is a piece that I took off of the window that I need to make curved. Obviously I can't bend wood, so what I am doing is I bought a piece of 1x12 here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into two pieces. So I'm going to lay this on this 1x12 and make sure that it's all on the board, okay? And I'm just using this as a reference. So it looks like I can get half of it with this piece, and then if I cut this like there and add it over here, I can get another piece. This was just again for reference. So I'm gonna take this 1x12 and I'm gonna cut it. And then we're gonna put this back on here again. So I just want to make sure that yeah, I guess it don't matter which way it goes which way. Okay. So I'm going to line up there. I'll line up here. All right. So that will be my piece. So then I'll just take my pencil and I'll make sure I mark this piece number 1, piece number 2, and I'm just going to trace it. Voila! And there's my curved piece. So when it goes up, now the grain's not going to be the same. And I don't know if there's any way to do it with the grain being the same, but my jiggler saw there, and I need to jiggle that out of there.
Is that the real name of the saw?
Yeah. So
A
this is
jiggler saw?
So this is the right side, this is the left side. I'm going to try to give this just a little bit of a test to see if it's even close to being right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold both of them up there, but let's just see what it looks like. If it even looks remotely right. I mean, it don't look bad. Does it?
No, it looks good to
I
me.
mean, I think I can make it work. Yo, why didn't you tell me my freaking hair looked like that when I was doing that clip thing? My gosh, it was like this.
I think you always look handsome.
Oh, whatever. Okay, Clean Seal. This is what I took from Jamie's house. Active enzyme caulk for kitchens and baths. No mold, no mildew, no scrubbing needed. So I think this is a good spot in here in the bathroom. So what I'm going to do is that, see this gap right there? There's going to be a little gap around the floor because the floor is never perfect. So to kind of seal that up, what it's going to do is it's going to stabilize the toilet a little bit better. It's going to make it look better, and it's also going to make sure that no odor could come out from there if the seal, you know, if the gasket, the, what's the word I'm looking for? The,
Thingamajiggy.
not the thingamajiggy. The wax ring, if that's not 100% seated correctly, I want to make sure no odor comes out from underneath the toilet. So all I'm going to do is I got my, it's just like Big Stretch. So it goes on easy. I'm just going to tool with my finger. Clean up is super easy just with water, soapy water. Cut a little bit of an angle, and I'm just going to, oh, I need to make sure I got, I don't want any excuses if I mess up. I made this beautiful curved wood, but one thing I did notice is that, I don't know, that trim must have been smaller for some reason. So this trim only measures like 2 3/8, where my regular trim measures 3 1/2. So that means I need to rip those boards down to match these boards, because if not, it's gonna look stupid. So I'm going to rip these down. Nana Pop-Up just got home, so I got to wait a minute for Pop-Up to wake up, and I'm going to get this curved wood in. I also got my reducer pieces from Cali. Cali Floors sent me some reducer pieces for around the tile areas there, which is going to look fantastic, so I'm going to get those put in. A couple more pieces of baseboard, and then I got the stair tread. I got to get that, the old one ripped out, the new one measured planed down, in, polyed, and then downstairs is done 100%. I cannot wait. And so this baseboard here, like I said, I have to transition from this tile up to the floor. So it's going to be thinner going across the floor. But then my transition to this piece is actually going to be a full piece down at the end. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to figure out how much I'm going to take off for the floor. And then what I'm going to do is take that much off here and run it to 0 on a full length board and just taper it. And that way when I get down to that end of the floor down there, it'll be the same height as the baseboard down there, but this will be the same height here and it will all match up. And you'll never see that transition from, you know, a ½ inch off to a full piece on this piece because it's in that full length. I do have the same problem here. Well, not problem, but same issue here with the tile into the floor. So I need to rip it down here. But the beauty of this one is that when I get over here, that piece just transitions into a door. So that piece can be thinner, even if it's thinner than that one over there by a quarter or whatever. You're never going to see the difference there. So I just need to make sure that this rip and that rip are the same. So, but that one looks great. I have this reducer I got from Cali Floors. Thank you again, Cali Floors, for sending me these reducers. And I'm just trying to figure out exactly how to put it in. So the concept of it is they have this small piece that's got some teeth in it. And then this piece goes on, the reducer part goes on, and it's got little teeth there that catch in there. So I'm thinking what you need to do is put that piece, and I took a little small sliver here just to kind of practice with. Put it in like that, and then this piece just snaps in. So my thought is, how do I get this piece to stay down? I tried shooting it in the space there down into the floor, and it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't also. I'm thinking my best bet's probably going to be some Lexel, and that's going to be permanent. So what I'll probably do is I will just put some Lexel down in this void right there, a little bit heavy, and then when I slide this in, it'll catch some of the Lexel and it'll stick to the bottom and to the floor. And then with this, and then I'll put this piece in, and then I'll put some blue tape over it and let it hold for a day or so, and the Lexel will then hold everything in place. Putting in this transition piece around the stove was definitely different because I had to miter the pieces. I think I did a pretty good job, but you can see because of the curvature of that, it doesn't go together perfect. And I'm sure there's probably be a way of angling it, but I tried, and that's why I didn't film it, because I tried upside down, right side up, leaning this way, leaning that way. I even tried to get my sander and try to take the hump out of it, and I wasn't going to bother Jamie, but I think it's pretty good. I got it all Lexelled in there, nice and tight. So I'm going to put some weight on that, let it sit for a day or so, and I think it's going to be what we call Goldilocks. The second to last thing that I need to do to be done in this main floor is to do this top stair tread. Remember, I put this block here to butt my pieces to make nice clean edge. So I need to take that off. I need to take this off. The one beauty of this one is that it doesn't really matter if it's super tight like these other ones, because there's going to be a piece of trim that covers it, which is nice. So I'm hoping to get this off in one piece. I can just trace it and then get my height that I need, take it out to the planer, plane it down, nail it back down, and then put a couple coats of poly on it. So I am looking at what's that say? 1 1/16. There's 1 1/8. I'm gonna go 1 1/16 first, and then see how that is, and I can always run it through again. So 1 1/16. By, there can be room again, there's going to be baseboard, so 38, by 11.5. I'm gonna have to trim this one back a little bit. You guys might have been watching this and thinking, dude, that tread's only an inch wide anyways. And it is. So it is only an inch. Maybe an inch strong. So I think I don't even have to do anything with that. I think that's the right width already. And this thing already measures 11 and like 7. So I don't have to do anything with that either. So there's not much to this except making sure it fits and snapping it in there. Let's see. So it actually fit perfect. And before I shot it, I made sure I put a bunch of Lexel underneath it. And what that does, that's going to make a nice seal between the two pieces of wood and fill any voids so that the stair never squeaks. And then I hit it with my palm sander. And then, of course, I put a couple of coats of poly on it so that matches the other stair treads that were already there. All right, last thing. This curved window that Stephanie made me do. But I don't know if I'm going to do it myself. Then I might need you to help me get in the tub. Because I need to be able to hold that piece and then put this piece up and make sure that they're the same height. Because if not, it's going to be all cattywamped. So one person's going to hold this one, I'm going to hold that one, and then we're going to make sure that the bottoms are the same height, and then I'm going to shoot it. Sound good? I probably should have done that one first today, just because it's the end of the day and I didn't really take my time. I probably could have made it look a little bit better, but I think for the most part it looks wonderful. Now remember, I did go a little bit thinner on the trim there just to match the upstairs the top. So I am going to have to do some touch-up paint along the side there, just where the trim didn't cover. But I think it looks fantastic. And Nana was like, what do you mean it's not done? She didn't even know it wasn't done, so it just shows you how much they pay attention to things. So I think it looks fantastic. Main floors, Cali floors, D-O-N-E, done. Trim, everything is done. I love them. Steph loves them. Everybody loves it. It's fantastic. I'm going to show you some before and after, but I'm actually going to go way back. I'm going to find some old pictures of the house when we bought it. Remember, Steph, when we bought it, Steph was like, oh, it's move-in ready. And I have done a lot. And a lot of it is not even on the channel because it was before I even started. So I'm going to show some way back before pictures, and I'm going to show you some after pictures now. Did I say that right? Some before pictures and then some after pictures now. So you can tell I'm super tired. But hey, thanks to Lowe's for hanging with me on this one and sponsoring me with that product. It's awesome. Cali, the floors are fantastic. Thank you for the transition pieces and just being there if I need any help. I appreciate it. Awesome company. And thank you to you guys, everyone that's out there that's sticking with me and watching the channel. I couldn't do it without you. I love you guys. And like I always say, catch you on the next one. Well, you can see from the time lapse, Pepe's back, and he doesn't like celery. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Pepe, come here. You like cheese? Hey. Hey. Come here, you like cheese? Hey, look. Hey. I think Pepe's gone. So I'm going to sit down in front of this fire and have a nice cold soda and relax. I hope you loved the video. It was a blast doing it. Hope Pepe doesn't come back because the dogs are going crazy.